Hello, everybody, and it's certainly good to see all of you guys again. Now, I will promise to try and keep this video to the point as much as humanly possible. But let me explain to you guys what's been happening. So, I've started a little mini series via my YouTube Shorts called Metamorphosis, and it's how I describe, well, changing, if you will, because metamorphosis is about changing, evolving, if you will. And I described this since well back into the beginning of December of last year that I was taking more time out to make sure my teeth were spotless, and I've been starting to adopt several vigorous, life-changing ways of thinking and ways of behaving and stuff like that. I mean, I'll give you guys just one example. I've not eaten chocolate now for 3 weeks. One, for the sake of my teeth, and two, as soon as I stepped away from eating that stuff, I will be honest when I say I have not missed it. So is the idea that the only reason I was eating chocolate at all was because it was literally a force of habit? I mean, if I could live without it, then you know what? Then why on earth was I even eating it in the first place? And little by little, ladies and gentlemen, I've started to incorporate this way of thinking into like other aspects of life, from drinks, for example. Because it's also been since the very beginning of the year that I've actually had anything carbonated that has sugar in it. Specifically, I am now reverting to diet zero only. Those are the only types of like carbonated drinks that I have. Everything else is either flavored water, which also boasts to having no added sugar, and just normal water. I haven't even had a cup of tea or anything like that since the beginning of the year. Is it because of caffeine, or is it just because I don't know? For whatever reason, I've gone right off having a cup of tea, a nice cup of tea. There's plenty of times of the day for that sort of thing, but for the moment, yeah, it's just not really happened, if for the lack of a better term. And alongside these sorts of things, I've been incorporating not only doing more exercising in this room that you see. For example, I've gotten a lot of use out of the Christmas present that my sister got me last year. Well, last year, just Christmas just gone. You know what I mean? It's been very, very useful, and I've also taken a stint, if you will, at going to the gym. Not only even more regularly. In fact, today I've already been earlier this morning, and now I'm actually going to go again later in the afternoon. The idea being is that I spent the morning doing things below the waist, and in the afternoon I'm going to do a lot of things above the waist, alongside doing little things in the evening and stuff like that. Whilst I've got videos cooking in my oven in the corner, I can just get ready and do what I need to do. So, speaking to all of this, there was something that also happened yesterday, and that was when I had a virtual call with the job centre. I explained to them exactly the sort of things that were changing and the sort of things that were coming about, and because it was about 30 minutes after I had my phone call with the job centre yesterday. And to be honest, here's the thing: they said things during the call that, to be honest, got me to take a little bit of interest, because, well, that will probably come about in a few days' time. But I promise you guys, it's the sort of thing you straight up should be very, very interested to hear, including the powers that be. I reckon they should take a good listen to what the sort of things I want to lay out, because it's also related to things that happened to me last year. Anyway, so that out of the way, here's where I'm at, like, right now, because yesterday, for those who don't know, when I was doing my videos, I will be the first to admit when I said I felt weird, is the way I describe it. I felt confused about like where I was and what I was doing, and it was such a strange feeling because I couldn't really work out why I was feeling the way I did, and I couldn't. It was a very vague sensation of, as I put it, I was working hard for the things I was doing, and to be honest, there seemed to be some semblance of progress because I get invited to a job interview coming up on the 13th, literally less than a week away. So that's good. So anyway, yeah, as I was going through all this, and I was explaining about how it felt weird about why this is all going on, and I couldn't explain. I felt like my life was getting back on track, sort of, because of the effort I was beginning to put in, but it wasn't any more or less effort than I was putting in the year before that, or the year even before that. So I don't really understand what's so different about why we're doing it this time around. I don't know. I can't really explain why. And well, the thing about that is that I think I finally worked out about an hour ago as to why I was feeling this way, and it all has to do a little bit with this video series of Metamorphosis. And you know how I described it? It's about changing and about evolving and about becoming a part of the next stage. Well, to that, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, yes, I do feel like I am changing. But into what? And that, ladies and gentlemen, leaves me at a very, very interesting crossroads, if you will. Because, yes, I do feel like I'm changing. I do feel like the work that I've done, it's being seen by more people than I care to imagine. And I feel like the more time I take out to just reading for pleasure and stuff like that, or reading to study, or reading to put things into practice, or revising for things that I'm going to be taking part in a few weeks' time, all of these are coming into practice. But what sort of man is it really turning? What is it turning me into, really? Is it going to turn me into a successful man? Is it going to turn me into the sort of man that I've never wanted anything to do with? Yeah, this is an interesting one because I certainly haven't spoken to anybody about this sensation. It's not so much uncertainty, but it's rather. I can't even say if it's a form of like manifest destiny, because manifest destiny more has to do with conquering more than anything else. So yeah, that's just where I feel like I'm at the moment, and I don't know if there's like a study for this sort of thing, and I don't even know if I'm overcomplicating things for no other reason than I feel like there needs to be some sort of explanation as to what this is really starting to turn into. However, with all that being said, I can say with the utmost certainty that whatever it is I'm turning into, whatever it is that will become of this little, shall we say, expedition in the 358 days we have left of the year, we're certainly going to see for ourselves exactly what becomes of all this. And to that end, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very, very interesting process, because at this moment, I have no idea. I don't know whether anyone else has any idea. And I fear what would happen if I ended up becoming something that, one, I'm not, two, I don't want to be. But let's see what happens. We'll weigh it up, if you will. And with all that being said and done, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.